He wasn't the loudest, he wasn't the flashiest, but when England were falling apart, Graham Thorpe was the one who held them together. A debut century in the Ashes, a career built on grit, timing, and quiet brilliance. He didn't chase fame, but became a hero to those who looked closer. This is the story of Graham Thorpe, the silent fighter, the little genius, and the man we lost too soon. In his own words, "I wasn't sure whether I had the passion to be a cricketer or a football player. Steadily, I found the passion, and it is very important that you have that. That's why I managed to play for a long time." Thorpe's professional cricket journey began at 18 when he made his first-class debut for Surrey in 1988. Just days later, he scored his maiden century against Cambridge University. After some ups and downs early on, 1992 became his breakthrough year. 1,895 runs at an average of 51 in the county championship announced him on the big stage. The reward came in 1993 with an ODI debut against Australia. He showed promise with scores of 31, 36, and 22, but England lost the series, and then the first two Ashes tests. So, the selectors rang the changes. At Trent Bridge, Graham Thorpe made his test debut. His first innings? Just 6. His mindset? Nervous. So nervous, in fact, that he drove back to London on the rest day for a barbecue with friends. But the second innings? That's when the magic happened. Batting alongside Gooch, he scored 100, on debut, in an Ashes test. My life, all of a sudden, was in a different place. He ended that series with an average of 46, and alongside Gooch was one of only 2 Englishmen to score 100 in the entire series. Next came the Caribbean. The West Indies pace attack was still fearsome. Thorpe averaged just 26, but the experience was unforgettable. If you can't play a ball at 90 miles per hour at your head, you better go and get another job. After the tour, he was dropped. England's new chairman of selectors, Ray Illingworth, told him bluntly, "You are not in the best 5 batsmen in the country." Classic Yorkshire honesty, but Thorpe got the message. He responded in typical Thorpe fashion, runs for Surrey, including a stunning unbeaten 145 in the NatWest Trophy. Recalled against South Africa, he scored 72 and 73 in his comeback test and finished the series averaging nearly 80. Then came another Ashes tour. While England faltered, Thorpe stood tall with 444 runs at 49. His knock of 83 in Adelaide was vital in securing England's only win in that series. Wisden noted, "Thorpe appeared to have the temperament as well as the technique to be a fixture in the team for several years." During the 1995 series against the West Indies, an accidental beamer from Courtney Walsh sent him to the hospital, but Thorpe returned the very next day to score 42. He ended the series with 506 runs, England's top scorer again. He was quickly becoming England's middle-order backbone. His 1996 World Cup campaign was individually strong, 254 runs at 63.5. But England underperformed as usual in ODIs. Then came a form slump. Wisden called him horribly out of touch, but 1997 brought redemption. On tour in New Zealand, Thorpe scored back-to-back hundreds and later scored 138 in the Ashes opener at Edgbaston. That partnership with Nasser Hussain, 288 runs, a record 4th wicket stand against Australia. Even when form dipped later in the series, Thorpe responded. He finished with 453 runs at 50 and was named England's Player of the Series. In 1998, he battled through back spasms to score a heroic century in Antigua. Later, in a losing cause, he scored an unbeaten 84 in an attempt to salvage a draw. But not all battles were fought with bat and ball. In 1999, he refused to wear the team blazer to official functions, protesting low pay and exploitative sponsor obligations. I took a stance. Later that year, he briefly captained England, but opted out of the South Africa tour for family reasons, a decision that had long-term implications. Omitted from central contracts and struggling for form, many thought Thorpe was finished. But he fought back with a century for Surrey and was recalled. On the 2000 tour of Pakistan, he scored one of his greatest knocks, 118 in Lahore, batting 7 hours and hitting only 2 boundaries. In the final test at Karachi, he calmly guided England to a win in near darkness, scoring an unbeaten 64. In 2001, Thorpe's unbeaten 113 in Colombo anchored England's win in a match plagued by poor umpiring. He followed it up with a nerveless 32 in the final chase. England won the series. Thorpe was the top scorer and briefly led the side in the ODIs. Then came injuries, personal setbacks, and a period away from cricket. But in 2003, with England down 2-1 to South Africa, he returned. At the Oval, he scored 126 in a match-saving stand with Trescothick. He called it, "My favorite 100, a knock of a lifetime." In 2004, on tour in the Caribbean, he made an unbeaten 119, more than half of England's 226 total. Against New Zealand and West Indies at home, he continued to deliver, match-winning hundreds, unbroken partnerships, and gritty 50s. By 2005, his body was wearing down, but he reached his 100th test. He averaged 62.63 in wins, elevating his game when it mattered most. But with Kevin Peterson emerging, the selectors made a call. David Graveney called it the most difficult decision of his time. Thorpe stepped away. On July 22, 2005, Graham Thorpe retired from international cricket. A month later, he left all first-class cricket behind. 100 tests. 6,744 runs at 44.66. 16 centuries. 44 50s. 2,380 ODI runs at 37.18. But beyond the stats, it was about how he played. Calm, composed, stubborn under pressure. A cricketer for the tough moments. He once said, "I tried to have a bit of the makeup of Alan Border and picked up a few things from Lara." He never found the game easy, but he fought through every innings, every series, every comeback. This past Friday would have been Graham Thorpe's 56th birthday. Sadly, we lost him just 3 days after his 55th. He took his own life after battling medical issues for quite a while. I won't go into that today. Instead, I remember him for who he was on the field. As a Sri Lankan kid in the mid-90s, I became a fan of Graham Thorpe through magazines and photos alone. I hadn't even seen him bat at that stage. But there was something about him that made me a fan which I can't quite put into words. Ricky Ponting once said, "I've heard Wasim Akram describe him as the best left-hand batsman he ever bowled to." His teammates called him the little genius. Dear Graham Thorpe, wherever you rest now, may it be peaceful, may it be still, and may the echoes of your cover drives continue to sing through time.